is the Fade 5 Podcast with Brad Evans and Nate Lundy.
Place your bets, you jackwagons! Brad the Big Noise Evans here, joined by the good son, Nathaniel Lundy. 'Tis indeed another episode of the Fade 5 Podcast. And on this Super Tuesday, we're, of course, casting all kinds of votes. And with ballots and tickets in hand, let's go ahead and hop aboard the Honk Honk Plus Bus. Our favorite wagers, plus 100 odds or greater, available across the spectrum of sports books. Lundy, you're going to drop the puck and make some bucks on what at plus odds, mi amigo?
Oh, Brad, let's go to Nash Vegas, shall we?
Yeah, hot chicken.
The home of, hot chicken,
Yes.
country music, and bachelorette parties. Anyway, we're going to go to Nashville. That is where we will find the Predators, and we will find the Predators taking on the Montreal Canadiens. Les Habitants shall be there in Nash Vegas. We're going to take Nashville on the money line, but they're a heavy favorite. Money line sitting at about minus 205, 210, depending upon the book that you're looking at. So we are going to factor in Mr. O'Reilly. See what I did there? And we are going to use factor on this one. We just need a point. Doesn't matter if it's an assist or a goal out of Ryan O'Reilly. But if he can do that for us tonight as part of Nashville's scoring and then put that together with the Preds on the money line, DraftKings is going to put that one together for us at plus odds, plus 106. Factors on a little bit of a point streak of his own right now. I like what I'm seeing out of him. And the guy that has really been a bright spot for this Nashville team. I think he can manage to pull this off. He's got, I want to say 29 career games against Montreal, and he's got like 25 points. So you're looking at an average of about a point there. And I don't see the Canadiens going into Bridgestone Arena and picking up the victory tonight. So I'll take the Preds on the money line. Give me Ryan O'Reilly to have a point in this one. Put it together. Plus odds 106 over at DraftKings.
All right, let's go. The Atlantic Sun Conference Tournament got underway yesterday, and I believe there was a pair of upsets in the opening round of that action. Florida Gulf Coast, they got bounced. Kennesaw State, I don't think scored the cover if they win. It didn't matter. It doesn't matter who emerged victorious last night, because the winner of this exercise, I believe, is going to be the Lipscomb Bison. And try to test your friends. Where is Lipscomb located, Lundy? Do you have any idea?
Yes, they are in the British Virgin Islands.
No, they're in a town area talked about, Nash Vegas. The pride of Nashville. So kiss the lips, and I am certainly laying a smooch down at plus odds, north of 2-1 for them to get the auto berth in this league. They have been arguably the hottest team, statistically speaking, in terms of offense over the last month in the Atlantic Sun. In fact, they are top 5 nationally in effective field goal percentage offense since February 1st. Now, they're not playing a lick of defense. Number 335 in effective field goal percentage defense since that February 1st span. But if they can catch fire over multiple games, I think they're going to cut down the nets and win the whole enchilada in that conference tournament. Again, plus 230 if they do. And hopefully going to storm the floor, not trample any Filipowskis while they're doing it, and get that coveted auto berth in the NCAA tournament. With those bets on the board, let's get after it on this Taco Tuesday with another spicy edition of the Fade 5.
Number 5.
All right, numero cinco here on the countdown. Let's go ahead and get a little SGP in the NBA. And it's not the sexiest juice in the world, but it's still viable there at minus 140 at DraftKings, available there on your screen. It's some two-way action on the All-Star for the Indiana Pacers, and Tyrese Haliburton. Give me him for 10 or more assists, and give me him for just 3. All I need is 1 against the Dallas Mavericks. Both those events occur again, minus 140 there at DraftKings Sportsbook. Why am I high on this particular prop? Well, you look at Haliburton, a guy who is over his last 12 from way downtown. So he's got to get off the schneid. And what better way to do it than against the Dallas Mavericks, who've allowed over the last 15 contests the 6th most opponent 3-pointers made per game at 13.7. He had 1 triple through the cylinder against Big D in their last matchup played on February 25th. And again, I think he is overdue to break out of his cold snap and spell and hit one from way downtown. Meanwhile, in terms of 10-plus assists, guys, he has done this steadily all season long. In fact, he had exactly 10 assists the last time he faced the Mavs in that late February matchup. He's been over this number 3 of his last 6. And Dallas really struggling defensively right now and haven't exactly mitigated opposing floor generals. They have allowed the 5th most opponent assists per game of 29.1 over their last 15. So to recap, Tyrese Haliburton, 10 or more assists. Tyrese Haliburton, I just need a 3. Put those hands together against the Dallas Mavericks, -140 at DraftKings. Lundy, better follow.
Why wouldn't you just go ahead and add Dallas on the money line to this and get yourself to plus odds? Do you not trust the Mavs?
I don't trust the Mavs, not with the way that they are playing right now defensively. But, you had me getting seduced by the juice. So if you tack that on, what is indeed the juice?
Off the top of my head, I don't know what it is. But here's what I can tell you. If you take the Mavs on the money line with the 10 assists, that gets you a plus 130. Oh, so good. I've got to think if you add in the 3 that it's
like
going to
160, 170, somewhere around there.
That you're going to bump yourself up even higher. I'm just throwing that out there. The Mavs are only 4.5-point favorites in this one at home against the Pacers. So, excuse me, I understand the hesitancy because of how Dallas has been playing, a little bit Jekyll and Hyde. But if you I like what you've done here. I do think Haliburton will eventually drain one from outside. That's the key factor in all of this, right? Is for him to get off of the 0 for 12. But if you are somebody that's listening or watching right now and you like the Mavs, I would go ahead and add them in there and get yourself into plus territory. But beyond that, you're going to pay some juice here. There's a reason why, though. The 10 assists, the 10 assists by itself, I think is like -240 or something like that. Yeah. So it's basically an automatic for him, and Dallas is very generous in that category. So put all that together. If you want to add the Mavs, you'll get yourself to plus territory, but this is a good SGP to get started with Haliburton.
Haliburton, have yourself a hell of a day.
Number 4.
Numero cuatro here on the Fade 5 podcast. Let's go to the Sunflower State Showdown Part D. That's Kansas State taking on the struggling Kansas Jayhawks. It's been tough times in the Lundy household with his wife being a die-hard Rock Chalk fan. I'm not picking a side in this game, not picking a winner. I'm going to take the under. At 143.5, this one inside Fog Allen and revenge game. Likely the narrative there for Kansas because the last time they went toe-to-toe against their intrastate rival there in K-State, they left the building in the Little Apple with a big fat L slapped on the forehead. But I think scoring is going to be all that luxurious in this game, and that's why I'm taking the under at -110 there at DraftKings. You look at the particulars. Kansas State on the road this season, yes, they're 3-7 straight up, but number 18 in the nation in effective field goal percentage defense, which weighs threes a little bit heavier. So it's an outstanding measurement overall. You look over the last 30 days, they're number 39 in EFGD. They're giving up just 47.5% around the 10, but only 29.7% outside the arc. And that is an area where Kansas isn't exactly rewriting records. They've been quite sorrowful from along the perimeter the entire season. Now, a very good defensive team at home, number 41 in EFGD, where they're 14-1 straight up this year. However, they have unraveled the last 30 days defensively. Number 201 in EFGD, and then you look at the offense, even worse. Number 266 in that category, and they're only shooting, get this, 25.2% the last 4 weeks, their last 8 games from distance. Pathetic, and that's why I believe KU is going to have another Bucknell bouncing in the NCAA tournament here in short order. So due to the struggles of the Kansas offense, due to their usually stout defense at home, Kansas State, a team that likes to play at a slower pace and also likes to, really grind you out defensively in the half court. I don't see this game really escaping the high 60s, and that's why I'm taking the under 143.5 -110 juice at DraftKings. Lundy, fade or follow.
Jump on the fade bus with me, people.
Really?
Do not trust Mr. Evans with his under on the 143.5. Now, In bonus time, I'm going to give you an SGP play on this game where you and I could both wind up winning. Good sir.
I like
I will
that.
share that with you. However, no, I'm actually not buying the under on the 143.5. I believe look, they needed overtime to get over this total when they played in Manhattan. But McCullers wasn't playing. And that's a big difference for KU. It just is. I understand their struggles. Believe me, I watch them on a weekly basis in my house in lovely 65-inch HD glory. But I don't believe that that's going to be the case tonight. So I see what you're doing. I understand what you're doing. I disagree with it. I'm going to fade you. I say they go over 143.5.
Oh, Lundy, hopefully you will get lucky tonight. Go Jayhawks! Get a W, but please don't score a whole lot of points.
Number 3.
All right, Numero Trace here on the Fade 5 podcast. Let's go with the Mountain West Conference, one of my favorite leagues in the entire land. And I'm going to take Nevada on the road, plus 5.5 against Boise State. Both these teams trending in the right direction for single-digit seeds on the latest iteration of the bracket. Big board available right now for free at thegamingjuice.com. But I think it's just too many points for a Wolfpack team that is trending upward and upward quickly. Minus 110 is the juice available at BetMGM. I mean, look at Nevada. They have been the definition of road warriors this season. 7-3 straight up, Lundy. Top 100 EFG offense, though, just number 198 EFG defense in those affairs. But look at what they have done over the last 30 days. Number 25 overall at Bart Torvik. Number 284 in adjusted tempo. Number 40 EFG offense. Number 99 in EFG defense. Turnovers, shooting themselves in the foot has been problematic at times. But a team that can really scorch the nets from outside. I'm looking at you, Jared Lucas. I'm looking at you, Blackshear. So a team also outstanding offensively as a collective. I think they're scored points to keep this thing close. You look at Boise, 11-2 straight up at home this year. Number 51. Certainly nothing to scoff at there at EFG offense, but number 112 in EFG defense. And it gets far worse the last 30 days. Boise State, number 30 overall on board Torvik, and the reason being they're number 234 nationally in effective field goal percentage defense. They're getting clobbered around the cup. So feed the post, kiss it off the glass. I think Nevada, in the end, scores the cover at plus 5.5, minus 110 at BetMGM. And Lundy, with all those factoids dancing around in your head, fade or follow?
That was a lot of numbers.
A lot of numbers.
There was a niner in there somewhere, I think. That was a lot of numbers. No, I like Nevada on the road. I think 5.5 is too much. I'll tell you right now, I think Boise State wins this. I think they win it by a tray. I think that is going to be the difference in this one. So I do think Boise State can get the victory at home. Thank God the court is not blue. But I do think Nevada covers it. But I think Boise State's doing this. But this is going to come down to the wire. This is going to be late night Mountain West basketball at its finest. I mean, look, I stayed up last week watching that Nevada CSU game where Moby was rocking. CSU comes back. The Rams have tied. This is going to be great. We're going to get overtime. No, half-court drainage by the Wolfpack. And so, look, it could be something like that for Boise State. I think this is going to be a great game. And I know we harp on this a lot on the pod, but hopefully you guys are paying attention to Mountain West basketball. Damn it, it's a ton of fun to watch.
Oh, Mexican coffee's in order. Late night action, Nevada, Boise State. Let's ride.
Number 2.
Numero dos here on the Fade 5 countdown. It really is a super duper Tuesday. And here's one of the matchups that explains why. Florida taking on Alabama. This one down in Gainesville. And Gator, chalk, baby. I'm going to lay the chalk there at minus 1.5. Minus 110 is the juice available there at DraftKings Sportsbook. To be honest, when this line opened, I jumped all over it because Florida was catching a point to start. Now the script has been flipped, and it's understandable why. You look at Alabama. I got them sliding right now the projected bracket big board as a number 4 seed, and they were a number 3 seed really forever. Maybe they could slide a little bit further. The advanced analytics are outstanding. I mean, they're top 10 in the net. They played a very difficult strength of schedule, which is top 10 in the country. But they only have 3 quarter-1 victories. Now, they could add to that list, getting a road win here in Gainesville, but I don't think it's going to happen. Alabama, respectable 5-4 on the road this season, and it's all about D and threes, usually at home for them, but their D has really suffered away from Tuscaloosa. They're number 234 in the nation in EFGD on the road, and number 250 EFGD over the last 30 days. They're giving up 55.2% inside the arc. So a lot of cutting action has been quite successful against them. And Florida is a team constantly on the attack. They love to run, and they will keep pace with a team that likes to take your breath away. That's what the Crimson Tide usually does. They are top 5 in the country and adjusted tempo this year. Florida a little bit slower there at number 72, but again, those zip, 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 and especially at home where they are 13-1. 79 EFG offense, 37 in EFG defense. So clamping down with more success, far more success compared to their competitor in this game. And they really get after it on the offensive glass, much like Alabama does. So this game is going to come down to a couple of factors. Who blasts the glass best? And will Alabama be able to drain some outside shots consistently, which has been kind of a roller coaster ride? And will they play even one bit of defense? I'm not convinced they will. So in a game that might be first 105 wins, I believe the Fighting Tide Goldens cover the 1.5, win this thing by a tray bomb in the end, and I score what will not be a sweat-free cover if that indeed comes true. -110 at DraftKings. Lundy, fair to follow.
I'll roll with some home team action here down in Tom Petty's hometown of Gainesville, Florida. Yeah, I'll roll with that one with you. I'm with you on the, like, it might be first to 110 wins, Brad. It might not be 100, might not be 105. You wind up with scores that are very NBA-esque when Bama's involved. So, yeah, we may see a whole lot of points in this one. But I like Florida. I like what you said, though. I think you're going to be sweating this one late because I think this is going to be close. But I think Florida ekes it out in the end. You just got to hope it's not like 110 to 109.
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Yeah, baby, we're running down a dream. Score that cover, Gators.
Number 1.
Numero uno here on the Fade 5 podcast. I didn't get dressed up for nothing. ILL. Your boy is going to be in the house, packed to the gills, nearly 16,000 people stuffed inside of State Farm Center. This game is on the cock, so make sure you hop on it there. As my guys, Stephen Bardo, who, of course, was on that Flying Illini 1989 team, and Robbie Hubble, who had a famed career as a Purdue Boilermaker, are both on the call with Noah Eagle. It's going to be enormous. It's going to be rowdy. It's going to be a raucous affair from start to finish, and I can't wait for it. And, okay, speakingly as objectively as possible, covering up the logo emblazoned on my chest, I'm going to lay the chalk with Illinois. This game actually opened up much like Florida. Illinois catching un punto, and exactly like Florida, the script is flipped. Illinois getting that or laying that 1.5 points, and I think they're going to win this thing because what does Purdue have to play for? I think they're very much in the driver's seat to win the Big Ten. They haven't secured that officially yet. Would obviously with a win tonight against Illinois, who's still slightly breathing down their necks. Purdue finishes at home against a woeful Wisconsin team. They should be able to blast on senior day. So I think they're going to, win the conference outright. Illinois is likely going to be the number 2 seed of the tournament outright when things tip off in Minneapolis here just a few days away. But these teams still, jockeying for position in the NCAA tournament projection. Purdue, really solid number 1 seed. I don't think they're going to budge off that line. Illinois, as a number 4, could climb as high as a 2 if they win out and get a little help. So still some upside there. And the key is this: Illinois' offense is number 1 in the nation over the last 30 days. I didn't make it up. It's a fact. Look it up for your damn selves. You want to try to prove me wrong? You're not gonna. They're doing otherworldly, godlike things right now. on offense. They scored recently on 77% of the possessions in that game against Minnesota. Terrence Shannon getting downhill, getting a lot of and one opportunities, also splashing threes from outside. Coleman Hawkins, a matchup nightmare at 6'10", can play every single position on the floor. He nets close to 80% for the charity stripe and shooting 40% from distance. And Marcus Damask, the SIU transfer, he's got like Barta would say, he smells like Bengay when he walks in gym, because you think he's a hell of a lot older with his style of play. It is throwback old school bully booty ball at its best. Fadeaways are splashing consistently. And on top of that, high basketball IQ, a lot of beautiful feeds for easy off the glass or dunks for the Illini. You look at Purdue, a team on the road this season, quite respectable 6-3 straight up. A decent number 89 EFG offense, decent number 16 EFG defense. But over the last 30 days, that defense has waned somewhat. Number 135 in EFGD, and they're giving up 36% along the arc. So the outside shooters, the marksmen alongside Damask and Shannon and Hawkins, guys like Luke Goody, for example, Justin Harmon could be difference makers in this game, draining some of those triples. Illinois, as I mentioned, the incredible points per possession, 1.338. That's unreal over the last 30 days. Defensively, they royally suck. Admittedly, number 299 in EFGD over that span. Really, what they have become is the Alabama of the Midwest. They're going to try to fly up and down the floor, and that offense just cannot be stopped. They are rolling boulder right now downhill, and I think they're going to smush Zach Edey and company inside the State Farm Center. So again, ILL, win for my boy and my son, who is going to be joining me at the game. He's a diehard fan. Shout out to Rowan. And my wife will be there as well. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I don't go home with my head hanging low. My number one play of the day, Lundy. No bias baked in at all. Illinois -1.5 against PU, -110 at DraftKings. Vader, follow.
I loved that because I could sit back and catch my breath. I think I took a nap while you were on that tirade there.
Yeah.
That was impressive. That was
Yeah.
you went all in, man.
Lundy, you should read my game preview on thegamingjuice.com. Normally it's like 250, 300 words. I just let the stream of consciousness flow when I was writing this game preview. It's like double that. I couldn't turn the faucet off, man.
Well, and why are any of us not surprised by that? I'm gonna roll with you on this one. I'll follow you on this one only because I really don't want to rehash everything you just said.
All right, that's entirely fair.
We'll be here for another 40 minutes. Easily. This will be like the longest podcast in history if I somehow argue with you about this pick, because then you're just going to throw more stats and more stuff. You're like, at this point, you might be making stuff up. I don't know whether the drawstrings on the outfit that you're wearing are a little too tight. Maybe you're choking off a little of the blood flow through your brain. That might be what's happening. I'm not sure. All I know is that I don't want to argue with you about Illinois against Purdue tonight. So yes, I will follow you on this one. If we just take Illinois on the money line, is it like plus 100? Is it just
no, they're favored, remember? So I think it's like minus 124, 125 in that range. That's right now. Maybe if some late money comes in on Purdue.
Yeah, there we go. I'm going to live bet this. How about that? I'm going to watch for Purdue. Maybe Purdue gets up 10-2 right out of the gate, right? Like 12-4, one of those that you just jump on the live. You wait for it to get to just close to plus odds, and then whammo, you just jump all over it. That's what I would do.
I think that's really a smart approach. See what teams show up. Illinois, again, they're not going to play any ounce of defense. They refuse to, but their offense, galactically good. All right, with that bet on the board, let's get after it. And bonus time on Lundy, whether it's college basketball on this awesome Tuesday, whether it's the NBA, maybe some more puck bucks. What do you have to share with the audience that you're feeling good about?
Oh, Brad, it's like the SAT. The answer is D, all of the above. Is what we've got. Let me go back to that Kansas and K-State game that I teased early on. Here is my same game parlay. You build this at DraftKings. It is a plus 100, even money. Give me K-State plus 16.5. That's right. Peg the needle on the alt spread with K-State. I do believe KU wins this game. Could they blow them out of the gym? Yes. Have they given me any reason in the last 3 weeks to think that they will? No. So I'm going to say K-State with plus 16.5. Again, I'm pegging the spread needle on that one as high as I can go. And then I'm going to play the over at 138.5. If you do that, you get yourself at plus 100. So I told you, I disagree with you on the under at 143. I frankly think they're going to go over the standard line. 5 straight matchups between these two teams have gone over that 143.5. Yes, I know the one a couple of weeks ago needed overtime to be able to do it, but it's happened 5 straight times. I am buying myself a cushion just in case we see some of that Wildcat defense show up at Fog Allen and it slows KU down a bit, but I believe they will get past that 138.5. And I believe K-State will keep this thing within 15 points, but I went ahead and pegged it up to 16.5 just in case. Like I said, you can do that at DK. Kansas, by the way, at home this season, Brad, 7-1 ATS. They are not defending the Fog the way that they should. Let me go from there to the NBA. It's a very busy week here in Denver, Brad. I was at the Avs game last night, a 5-0 drubbing of the Chicago Blackhawks. So the Avs have a home game. The Avs have a home game this week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The Nuggets have a home game Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So you basically want to avoid downtown Denver this week because the traffic right around 6:30 or 7 o'clock is going to suck every single night with people trying to get to the arena. But Joker and company will be at the SAC Ball Arena this evening, taking on the Phoenix Suns without Devin Booker, of course. And so a couple of plays that I like. Give me Denver minus the 9.5. Yes, I think they will take care of the Suns. If you have been watching what Denver's been doing over the course of the last couple of weeks, there have been some games that they have played. It certainly happened against the Lakers in LA, but it also happened last week at home, I believe, against the Kings, where all of a sudden Denver's losing. And then there's this moment where they just go, hold my beer and watch this. And they step on the gas and they just run away from these teams. I think they're going to do that against Phoenix tonight. So lay the 9.5. I think Denver wins this by double digits at home. And then give me Joker to go over 21.5 rebounds plus assists.
Oh, love it.
You're going to pay a little bit of juice here. That one is at minus 120. But I love him to go over again, the 21.5. In the last game against Phoenix back on December 1st, he hit 21 right on the button, but he did it with only 5 rebounds. Yeah, he had 16 apples in that game against Phoenix. I think you're going to see a much more balanced approach out of Jokic tonight. And so I could see something easily that's like 13-11, 14-10, something like that. And I like him to be able to get the over on the 21.5. And frankly, I would play that number on Thursday night against Boston, since Brad and I won't be with you again till Friday. I would play it against the Celtics because of what he will do in that contest. Another one. They're on TNT back-to-back games tonight and against Boston. I think he's going to put on a show. And then I definitely would play it when they take on Utah on Saturday. Finally, let's go back to the ice. I got 2 plays for you here. Let me start off in the Vancouver LA game that'll be played at Crypto. Give me JT Miller of the Canucks for an assist tonight at minus 115. In 21 career games against the Kings, he's got 17 assists. Last year, in 4 games, he had 4 assists. And oh yeah, last week against the Kings, he had an assist. It's what he does against the Kings, people. So play that at a minus 115. And then speaking of that game, I'm going to take Kevin Fiala to have a point for the Kings, and I'm going to pair that together with Dallas's Jason Robertson, who's on the road against San Jose. I need a point out of him as well. If both of those guys notch something in the books for us, it is a plus 117 at DraftKings. Plenty more action. There's 9 games on the docket for hockey tonight. I'll have more for you on the spreadsheet posted at thegamingjuice.com. But for now, I yield the floor to the not-so-homer Illinois fan.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Let's go. The Team Huevos parlay play of the day in the NBA. Oh, the San Antonio Spurs are in action. Yes, I got to get a Wemby parlay as a result. So on this SGP, come with me if you are buying what I'm selling. A very simple 3-legger here. Give me the Houston Rockets on the money line. They have won 2 of their last 3 straight up against San Antonio. The Spurs 1-9 in their last 10 road games straight up. Though Houston has dropped 7 of their last 10 overall, it doesn't matter. The Spurs suck except for Wemby. I think the Rockets score the win. Give me Wemby, leg numero dos, 10 or more rebounds. The Rockets have allowed the 4th most opponent rebounds per game over the last 15, giving up 46.1. He has gone over that once, but twice in the pair of matchups against Houston this season. He has done this as well, Wemby has, in 6 straight games. And leg numero 3, swat 3 balls into the seats. I need 3 or more blocks from her Wemby, which he should easily be able to get because Houston has allowed the most opponent blocks per game over the last 15 in the National Basketball Association at 7.2 to be exact. Wemby did this twice in the 2 prior matchups against the Rockets, and he's also done this in 8 straight games. If you want to tack on like a made 3, you want to take on maybe an all total in points. If you want to get a steal all the more, I don't care. Go for it. Wemby, all he does is stuff the stat sheet. I wrote about on thegamingjuice.com how I love the Wemby SGP. So on a simple 3-legger, Houston money line, Wembanyama 10 or more rebounds, Wembanyama 3 or more blocks, plus 138. All get seduced by that juice there at DraftKings Sportsbook. Elsewhere in bonus time, let's go back to college basketball, shall we? And I'm going to take the over in San Diego State in their matchup, taking on UNLV. And that number is down to 135.5 right now. And I think it's going to just barely creep over. You look at San Diego State, you're automatically thinking, hey, it's a fine defensive team. Which is true. The last 30 days, number 32 at EFGT, but on the road, far worse. Number 70, an effective field goal percentage defense. UNLV, outstanding defensively. The young Kruger there at the controls, number 7 at EFGT during that stretch, but 224 in EFGD at home there in Viva Las Vegas. So, boys, hit your free throws at the end of the game. And if you do that, I think this game is going to be in the low 70s as a result and easily get over the 135.5. Let's love in the middle. I wrote about this strategy on thegamingjuice.com. Check out that column recently. So on this 3-legger SGP in Oklahoma and Cincinnati, give me the Sooners to boom and get the money line victory there. Give me Cincinnati on the alt spread. I'm going to jack it all the way up to the highest value available, plus 15.5. And I'm going to take the total way down to 128.5 and hit that over. So Oklahoma money line, Bearcats plus 15.5, over 120.5 on the all total, plus 130 there at BetMGM Sportsbook. Cincinnati, very small chance of them really entering the bubble conversation, but a team that is 164 at EFGD here over the last 30 days. So they haven't exactly been clamping down, and offensively far worse than number 278. Oklahoma, a team, they prefer a slower tempo, but they're, teetering the fence there at the top 50 in Bartoli's overall ranks the last 30 days. 130 EFG offense, 139 EFG defense. Though much better at home, where they're 45 and 62 respectively in those categories. That's why I took this total way down, and and I'm still going to play the over at the 128.5. It is going to be low scoring, but I don't think you really have to sweat this thing out. Probably with a couple minutes left, I think the over will cash on that old total. Oklahoma will get the victory. Just don't blow the doors off the Bearcats, please, and keep it within 16 points. for us to score the cash. All right, I got to prepare mentally right now for Illinois Purdue. It's going to be a fun night. It's going to be incredible at the State Farm Center. Coleman Hawkins, one of my favorite players of all time, likely his last game played in Champaign. He's going to make himself a whole pile of cash. He has recently for the NBA. Probably going to be a late first-round pick, so it could be my last time seeing him in the flesh. So enjoy it, whether you're going to the game, you're going to watch it on the cock, my guy Stephen Bartle, Robbie Hummel on the call, or you're just going to soak in whatever Lundy is selling in the NHL. I don't care. Let's make some money tonight. And do us a favor. Go to thegamingjuice.com right now. Sign up for a free account. Lundy's picks are there. My picks are there. I'm cranking out content like a madman. Free every single day. We have additional content from Lou and Brandon Velasquez as well, tied to the NHL. So we're, slowly building this thing up. I'm hosting chats. We're getting ready for the madness. It's crazy. You don't have to pay a dime. Just go sign up right now at thegamingjuice.com and read all of our picks, plays, and previews. Also, do us a favor. Drop us a rating and review if you enjoy this podcast. Fade or follow us on the X. We're always trying to give it to you. Lundy, at Nate Lundy, myself, at Noisy Huevos. For the lovely and handsome Nathaniel Lundy, I'm Brad Evans. Until next time, ILL, fade or follow. That is up to you.